All right, it is time for the new weekly challenge, and this one's going to be a doozy because this is The Apocalypse Draws Near. I basically call it Apocalypse 3 Junior. It says the hardest possible challenge, but with normal investigator speed. Good luck. So yeah, like it says, it's basically Apocalypse 3 settings, but you get normal walk speed and sprint, and it's on Sunny Meadows restricted instead of regular Sunny Meadows. And also the differences between this and regular Apocalypse are all you need to do is get the ghost right. You don't need to survive. You don't need to do any objectives. You don't need to do a ghost photo. So if you want to get a little taste of Apocalypse 3, this is a good way to do it. And honestly, I've said before that I'm just not really the biggest fan of Apocalypse 3 because of that walk speed. So I actually find this one a lot more fun. At least the last time I did this, it was fun. So let's see if that holds true today. But we got our map on Sunny Meadows restricted. We are heading in, and I hope they gave us some good equipment for this one. Yeah, looks like we have basically a full truck of tier 3 equipment. That's going to be helpful. But we are looking for William Emmett. I did just get a new computer, so my case number reset, unfortunately. This is only my 6th game of Phasmophobia. I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I have done any sort of apocalypse nonsense in Phasmophobia. So I think I'm going to go with the lighter. Oh, unfortunately, they did give us tier 3 incense. I think tier 3 is terrible for Apocalypse 3. It's more likely to get you killed than it is to save you. I think our flashlights, yeah, our flashlights are broken. That's a normal Apocalypse 3 setting. So I'm going to go in with the headgear, which I normally don't use. Ugh, yeah, because I hate that fisheye look. I'm going to grab a crucifix, I'm going to grab a thing of incense, and I'm going to grab an EMF meter. The EMF meter is going to help us if we have any wraiths or anything teleporting to us. But yeah, I'm going to start with the crucifix just in case the ghost is anywhere near me. That way it won't hunt on top of me if I have this crucifix out. Because crucifixes will work if they're in your hand. All right, let's go. I can't see anything. So first things first, I'm going to run in here. I'm going to put my crucifix down. I'm going to get my incense out and my EMF meter, and I'm going to see if I can make it to the front before the ghost hunts. Nope. Was that a ghost event? That ghost just evented on me, which does mean that the ghost is within 15 meters of me. That was concerning. What's the deal with tier 3 incense? It stops the ghost in its tracks. So this is going to be a really, really fast ghost. So if it runs up to me, I'm going to cleanse it, and it's going to just sit there while I try to move away. And if it gets out of the cleanse before I'm, far enough away, it's just going to run me straight over. And the other thing that I want is the tier 3 paramic. This thing is paramount for Apocalypse 3. All right, have we not had the ghost hunt yet? Interesting that the ghost hasn't hunted yet. Oh, it's hunting now. Oh, it's... okay, it went downstairs. That is scary and loud. Oh, I hate that breathing. I feel like we need to turn the volume down a little bit. Just a little bit. No, I don't think that's a unique sound. Yeah, that guy needs some water. Okay, well, we can learn a few things right now. We know it's not a Diogen. I don't think it's going to be... it's probably not a Hantu because it sounded the same speed the whole time. I don't think that sounded fast enough to be a Thea, but when it comes to... 150% speed ghost hunting, it takes me a couple of investigations to get a feel for, like, what normal ghost speed is. So to me, that could have been normal speed. I'd like to listen to it one more time and see if it sounds any different. Why is it not being attracted to my electronics? So there was a little arrow pointing down on this, which indicated that it was downstairs, because this thing can hear down a floor and up a floor. How do you see? You don't. I'm supposed to be using this thing, but I hate it. I figure right now I don't really need it since I'm just staring at my paramic screen. Oh, did you hear that? It's in the chapel. But yeah, that was the sound of it turning a crucifix upside down in the chapel. That's scary. Does that sound a little slower to y'all, or am I brain tricking myself? Ooh, he stopped into the... I do wonder if this might be a yokai. I'm gonna try to do a yokai test. And I think if I'm gonna do that, I'd like to get probably a flashlight to put on my feet. Sounds the same to you? Oh, that's right. Flashlights don't work. Neither does this. Cool. I guess I'm gonna have to use my headgear to know when it starts flickering. But Tasia, thank you so much for the 3 sub streak. I appreciate that so much. You gonna come on over? Bad news, it's not a yokai. It's not a yokai. It's not a yokai. So we're hiding under the stairs now. This is a pretty good hiding spot when you're doing Apocalypse. The ghost can walk right in here, but the odds of that happening aren't too high. Yeah, not a yokai at least. Okay. Oh, what's the yokai test? Basically, yokai cannot detect your electronics unless they're within 2.5 meters of you. So if you hold down your walkie-talkie... Is he done? If you hold down your walkie-talkie... Okay. And you let the ghost come close enough to disrupt it, and if the ghost walks on right over to you after doing that, it's probably not a yokai. Same speed as last time, too? Yeah, that definitely sounded the same to me. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get some salt. I don't think it's a wraith. I feel like if it was, it would have teleported to me already, but that's just a really easy one to rule out. But yeah, so far it seems like we might have a stinky ghost. Might have a stinky ghost. The salt can slow it down if it walks through it, so this is, you know, decent lifesaver when you're doing Apocalypse. Okay, I guess we got to put the headgear down. I'm gonna bring my cruci over here. Gonna put some salt over here. Okay, and if he comes on over here, uh-oh. Shoot, we might be dead. Raiju or Mimic. He did come in here, and I don't think he got much faster around my electronics. Can you get cursed in this one? So your sanity already starts at 0. So I guess you could technically get cursed by a Moroi, but it wouldn't do anything. Because you don't have any sanity to lose. Okay, he is still hunting. Getting back here. Light, thank you for the 5 stream streak. Okay, I think the hunt is over. Is it? Yeah, I don't hear him on the paramic. Do you have any curse items? I don't think so, because this is Apocalypse 3 settings, and on Apocalypse 3 you don't have any cursed items. Not that it would matter for most of them, because you do need sanity to use a lot of them. Okay, so what else can we do? We could use a video camera to see if it's a mimic, but it'd probably be easier to figure out if it's a mimic if it is switching what it's doing. It's probably not an Onryo. Because if it is in the chapel, it wouldn't be able to hunt very well. With all those candles around. Onryos cannot initiate a hunt around candles. But I guess the next thing to do would be to try to look at it. Which is probably going to get me killed. So I'm going to go back here. We can always hide behind the piano. But also, I probably shouldn't do this without a crucifix, because there is no grace period. So let me just grab this right here. It did hit my salt, so not a wraith. Yep, Apocalypse Ghosts are 150% speed. Okay, we got plenty of light in here. Ooh, is this a shade? If he hunts from this same room, we can say it's not a shade. But so far, he hasn't hunted since I came in here. Currently leaning shade. Because, yeah. I feel like he should have hunted by now. Is this a good time to do the Apocalypse 3 tutorial video? Probably not, since, you know, I have sprint and I have normal speed, and that's not a component of Apocalypse 3. Oh! He came from outside the room, the stinker! Okay, I think this is a shade. We're gonna find out. Yeah, the fact that he hunted from outside the room definitely makes me think shade. Because the deal with shades is they cannot hunt if you are standing in the same room as them. The only way they can is if you step out or if they step out of the room. Ducks got eated. It was a shade! Let's go. First round in the bag. Whew, I feel like I got lucky on that one. But that does tell me that what we heard, that is normal ghost hunt speed. So now we need to remember what that sounded like for future rounds to tell if, so we can tell if the ghost is faster or slower than that. Soundly it was like, dut, 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 dut. Okay. All right, time for round 2 of Apocalypse Draws Near. What did I start with last time? I think I'm going to do the lighter. I think I would like to do a... crucifix. I think I'd like to do a parabolic microphone, and I think I would like to do that. Because if I am going to test for a Raiju, I think just throwing the paramic on the ground will be good enough. Oh, and my tier 3 headgear. We are doing this challenge. What would you recommend to get the ghost? Basically what I started with here. I have my lighter for lighting the incense. I have a crucifix to hold out so the ghost can't immediately hunt on top of me. I have the parabolic microphone to listen to what it sounds like from a distance when it's hunting. And then I have my incense just in case. All right, let's get in there. Hoping for the best. Expecting the worst. Ring the bell. We're going to open this door right here. So I have a... Oh, we can't go downstairs. So that means our best hiding spot's probably going to be in the chapel. Okay, put our crucifix down. And we wait and listen. Excuse me? Hey, you get back here. No, even the crucifix doesn't want to be here. It's trying to get away from me. Are there any hiding spots? There are no real hiding spots. So you have to rely on the quote-unquote natural hiding spots like behind the piano or under the stairs. The door is closed. The ghost is hunting. Let's listen. So far, I don't hear anything. So I feel like it's a little safe to venture out. It looks like our ghost is going to be down this hallway over here. I do hear running water down there. Ah, it's crying. Okay, that sounds like normal speed to me. Yeah, the crucifix is trying to get out of here. Oh man, I hate the crying. Okay, the hunt is over. Yeah, that didn't really tell me anything. That sounded like a normal speed ghost. I'm going to try to get down there with the crucifix, but this might end in my death. Greased up all the crucifixes during the last hotfix. Crucifixes are now 75% more slippery. I wish I had my EMF meter. You know what? I'm going to try to go to the truck and get the EMF meter. Because it does feel like she's waited a little bit to hunt. That makes me think maybe she's a stalker. And hopefully she doesn't hunt before I get to the front door. Nope, she's hunting. She's hunting. So let's go try to listen to her again. Ooh, this could be a Myling. Ooh, Whew, that was scary. Yeah, I don't know. This could be a myling. I felt like I wasn't really hearing her at all down the hallway whenever I would turn my paramic off. So initial guess, possibly a myling. But I do want to investigate a little more. So yeah, the deal with myling is if they are any further away than, I believe, 12 meters from you, then you cannot hear them. And if I pull out my parabolic microphone screen again and try to turn this off, yeah, she was definitely within hearing range for me because you can see the little distance markers there at the bottom. The first one that's labeled is 15 meters, and she was definitely around that 15-meter line, and I could not hear her down the hallway. So that does make me think myling. So one thing that I would like to grab, I'd like to get an EMF meter just to know if we have a phantom or a wraith, maybe. Gonna get our goggles back on, we're gonna run in there, and we're gonna go listen to this ghost at the door. Well, one thing I could do is I could go hide in one of those side bedrooms, and hopefully she doesn't come in there. She did just go in one. So if that happens, that's gonna be a death sentence. Okay, the hunt is over. Could just hang out. See, I don't know if any of these rooms are good to hide in. See, I can't hear the sink from there. Okay, well, the ghost room now is about 25 meters away, so this should allow us a pretty good opportunity to listen to her, at least. I do still have my incense. My ability to hunt the ghost so well makes the ghost cry. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. They almost made me cry today, though. Man, we had a rough day today. It was Stinky Ghost Sunday. Okay. Okay, she's kind of going the opposite direction of what I would like. Come on, get a little closer to me. That's the one bad thing about this is... Oh, come on, little closer. I'm hoping to hear anything other than the ghost. I don't think that's a myling. Because I can hear her without my goggles getting disrupted. I don't think that's a myling, yeah. Because normally when it comes to mylings, you will start hearing them right before your flashlight starts flickering or your goggles start getting disrupted. Because they start disrupting them from 10 meters away. And you don't start hearing the myling until it's 12 meters away. Okay, we're going to move up a room. Getting us dangerously close to the ghost. Yokai, perhaps. It did get close enough to disrupt my goggles, but did not come over. I do want to make sure that the incense is immediately above my paramic. Okay. Maybe okay? Ooh. This may be a yokai. Oop. Might be a yokai. Because, yeah, she waited quite a while to come try to get me. She does have line of sight speed up. I hear her a little faster. Might be a yokai. I need to go get new incense, though. Okay, yeah, I'm leaning yokai now, but man, this is a tough one. Basically anything, though, where you do have normal ghost hunt speed, it's going to be a tough one whenever you're doing any sort of apocalypse-type stuff. Should I know where you are since you're using the headset? Yeah, as soon as that headset started to flicker, That should have been when the ghost knew where I was. Because they start disrupting it from 10 meters away, and then they can sense it from 9 meters away. And as fast as they're going, the difference between 9 and 10 is pretty much negligible. Okay, currently assuming yokai. I would like to watch the blinks, though. We can say at least, there's a lot we can say that it's not. Jelly Bells, how you doing? I have no idea how you got away just now. I cleansed it to freeze it in place, and I just went to another room. Oh. This has to be a yokai. That ghost spent so long disrupting my headgear and never came over to me. That is a hunt, right? Yeah, it's hunting. Yeah, I think this is a yokai. If this isn't a yokai, this raises questions about everything that I believe about how far a ghost can interrupt my electronics. Okay, well, in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and start making my way back to the truck. And, you know what? It doesn't matter if you die in right in this, so I'm gonna go observe it, just in case there's something else I notice about it. So let me in here. Did its run speed change? I don't think so. I could listen to it over here, though. You thinking it's a mimic? Maybe. Anton, how you doing? That sounds normal speed to me. Yeah, were you thinking it was faster or slower? See, you can't see much with this thing on. I think she's in one of these rooms here. It's so dark, though. Okay, that's not a phantom. Don't think it's an Obake. Oh yeah, she has... Ooh, hang on. Ooh, hang on. I'm changing my mind. I'm changing my mind on that one. Oh no, wait, there's no power. I'm going back with yokai. She sped up so fast that I thought that was a Jin speed up. But yeah, the breaker's broken, so the Jin can't do its speed up. Could have been a Raiju. It was a Raiju. Yeah. I didn't have a lot of time to think about that one. But yeah, she was speeding up for my electronics. That was interesting, though. I don't think I heard her... Oh, I understand now. Because Raiju can disrupt your electronics from 15 meters away instead of the usual 10 meters. That's why she was disrupting my headgear and not coming over to get me. All right, I'm keeping that in mind for the future. Yep, that was definitely a Raiju. Darn it. I should have realized that from the high speed at the end. Oh well. At least we learned something, you know? That's what I always say about Phasmophobia. Even if you don't get the ghost right, there's always an opportunity to learn something about that. All right, let's get back in there. Apocalypse draws near. I forgot to circle the map again. All right, here we go again. Can you get Blood Moon on challenge mode? You absolutely can. I have had it happen. No, wait, why am I grabbing a flashlight? Those are broken. I have had it happen on certain challenges before. Thankfully not this one. This one would be pretty bad. I do hear rain, though. Oh, thank God, it's normal weather. Okay, well, anyway, I'm gonna grab a crucifix, the parabolic microphone, and this thing. The incense. Get our... goggles on? Wait, oh, I forgot to grab the goggles. I'm like, why are my goggles turning on? Grab that. Okay, now our goggles are on. Get our crucifix out, just in case it tries to hunt on top of me. Ring the bell there. I'm going to... Do I not have a lighter? I have a lighter. I'm good. That would have been bad, though, if I didn't have one. Let's see... Oh, it's fine, Winter. Had a Blood Moon happen on your last Technophilia game. Ooh. You know what? I think that's the one that I had Blood Moon on. Okay, door is still closed right there, so I'm going to put this down. I'm going to see if I can squeeze my way out the door real quick to get an EMF meter. before it hunts. Whoop. Because the fact that it has taken a little bit to hunt does always make me worried about stalker ghosts. Let's do a... Do I have room? No. You know what? Motion sensor will be just as good. Because then if it's a banshee, this will help me out there too. Still... Oh, wait, here's the hunt. Let's go, let's go. It is... Where are you at? We might have up the hallway. Oh, he went away? No, there he is. That does sound normal to me. What's a stalker ghost? The phantom, the banshee, and the wraith. They all have abilities to come to where the player is. Classrooms, yeah, I'm thinking it's like up that hallway around the courtyard. That's a little too far that way to be the dorm wing or whatever you call it. Alright. Normal speed. Do I want to hang out here a little bit though? If I do hang out here, I can watch the motion sensor. Or I could bring the motion sensor out here. Okay, we can't go downstairs again, so that means if we are hiding, it's going to be under the piano, or behind the piano. So, motion sensor here. Hey, Torn, how you doing? Let's see, about to leave to go out, but I wanted to say hi. Yeah, Torn, I hope you've been good. Phasmo's been a bit of a stink butt today. But yeah, most days it's good. Most days it's good. Let's see, lousy not, thank you. But yeah, Torn, I'm actually going to be playing the Oblivion remaster soon. Really looking forward to that. Okay. Yeah, he just walked away. How long have I been at this particular challenge? About an hour now. This is only our third round, though. The second round, we had a Raiju that I only realized too late that it was speeding up really close to me. No, I think he's down that hallway. Yeah, so already I can tell that, remember how the Raiju was, like, disrupting our electronics from further away? This guy's getting pretty close without disrupting anything. Okay, well, he is down that hallway, unfortunately. He hasn't beeped my motion sensor yet, so the stalker idea is maybe out the window. Ooh, he is pretty close, though, so I do need to be careful. It sounds like you at work when you have to pick things up. Oh, God. Let's see. Jax, thank you so much for the hydrate. I wonder if your friends have been playing Oblivion and he's on master mode. It's so stupidly hard. Yeah, like, the Bethesda RPGs do not have good difficulty scaling. Also, Rat Person, thank you for the raid. How was your stream today? What were you playing? Wait, the motion sensor beeped? That wasn't me, right? I totally missed that. That's concerning. He is pretty close to me, though. Here, let's pull it back a little bit. Here he comes hunting again. It does sound like it's the same speed every time, and that does sound normal to me. Playing War Thunder, nice. Stream's been going pretty good. We're in the Apocalypse Draws Near challenge right now, which is pretty darn close to Apocalypse 3, but we have normal walk speed. If it is a Banshee, can it come all the way to me? It can, as long as we're on the same floor. The good thing about having this thing out all the time, though, is that I'm getting parabolic whispers all the time, so if it's a Banshee, we're going to hear that scream. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the door here. Okay. But yeah, I'd like to wait and watch this motion sensor again. But Because the reason why I initially thought that, hey, maybe it's a stalker ghost is because it did take a little bit to hunt when I walked in. Rock Dude, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Oh, it just beeped. We have a stalker ghost. Okay, I'm going to try to get up to the front, and I'm going to grab my EMF meter, and we're going to be able to tell if this is a phantom or a wraith. Also, too, if I can, I'd like to grab a second motion sensor. Because then I can tell if it's coming towards me or away from me. That's also a good indication of a wraith. Or I could just grab some salt. Salt would work. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's get the salt instead of the motion sensor. Or I'm sorry, the EMF meter. We have a motion sensor. Oh, no, wait. I changed my mind. I want the EMF meter and salt and the one motion sensor that's in there. We don't need two. Because this combination of items here will let us test for Wraith, Phantom, and Banshee. If it steps in the salt, it's not a Wraith. If it sets off my EMF meter, it's not a Banshee. Let's see. Gustin, welcome in. How you doing? So we're going to put salt here, and here, and here. Oh, it just beeped? Wait, that wasn't me, right? Haha, I'm in danger. This might be a wraith. Except it is hanging out in this room with me. Oh, God. Oh, boy. How's the weekly? It's hasn't been too bad. Not as bad as you would expect. I think this is a wraith. On the grounds that it hasn't stepped in my salt. It is possible that it changed rooms, though. Yeah, see, this is when it would be nice to have a motion sensor over there. Okay, let's put the motion sensor right here. And then I'm going to keep my butt on this crucifix here. But yeah, like I was saying, one way that you can sometimes suss out a stalker ghost during these zero sanity challenges is if they spend a long time not hunting. Uh-oh, he's close. He's close. Put our incense down, get this thing off, and then try to get behind the piano before he murks me. Ooh, I think he saw me. Too late. Okay, I'm going with Wraith on this one. I would love it if I could get close enough to see if it stepped in the salt or not. I'm going to try to do that before I die. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. Ooh, I don't see any salt steps. It was a wraith. Let's go. Oh boy, Sugar Chef, welcome in. How you doing? Been watching the YouTube videos. Hey, thank you so much for checking the Twitch stream out. Don't think the tier 3 motion sensor can be tripped by the player. That's good to know. That's probably the best thing about the tier 3. I typically don't like the tier 3 motion sensor because it is a giant circle. You know, sometimes I like to see exactly where the ghost is, but the fact that you can't trip it, that makes me like it more. All right, we've got 2 out of 3. Time for one more. I hope. I hope it's one more. Back in we go. So, once again, I'm grabbing my lighter. I am grabbing a crucifix. I'm grabbing the tier 3 paramic, and I'm grabbing some incense. We're looking for Peter Smith. Oh man, Savanor, I'm sorry. Hope you get to feeling better soon. Oh, and I forgot my headgear. See, this is, I never use headgear, so I'm not used to grabbing it before I get out of the truck. All right, we're heading in. We got our crucifix out just in case it comes over to us and tries to hunt. But first thing I always like to do when I'm doing Apocalypse is I like to go over in this room, get my crucifix down, get my paramic out, and just wait for the hunt to begin. Waiting for that door to close. Yeah, that's another reason why I don't like this thing. Hey, maybe that's why I have such a bad headache, is this stupid tier 3 headgear. Let's see. Dragon Steels, welcome in. How you doing? But yeah, any game like this that like really messes with the FOV. Oh, you're fast. What are you? Thea, maybe? Or Roy? Ooh, did it change speed? A few times it sounded like it changed speed. Nah. It's doing the two-step? Yeah, I think that's what I was hearing. Yeah, no, I think it's either a Thea or a Moroi. Let me go outside and cross some ghosts out. So, here is every fast ghost in Phasmophobia. The Djinn speeds up really fast when it sees you, but it can't do that when the power's off, and it has to have line of sight. The Revenant gets really fast when it sees you, but once again, it has to know where you are. It can't just go that fast, and otherwise, it's really slow otherwise. The twins can go fast or slow, but that sounds way too fast to be a twin, even at 150% speed. I'd like to listen to it one more time to see if it changes. But otherwise, I don't think it's the twins, but I'm not going to mark them off. Raiju has to be around your electronics to go that fast. We already had a Raiju today, so we know what it sounds like when it's sped up around electronics, and it was not that fast. Otherwise, Moroi goes pretty fast when you have 0 sanity. And the Thea goes pretty fast when you have 0 sanity. Dioga's also really fast from a distance, but it always knows where you are, and it'll run right up to you. So I think it's down to Moroi and Thea and maybe twins. Maybe twins. Pantheon, how you doing? Let's see. Just straight running or taking turns entering, leaving rooms, yeah. I think it was sometimes when the ghost like just changes direction instantly, it does that weird little two-step and it misses a couple of footsteps. Phasma fan, welcome in. How you doing? All right, but what can I get to help me with this? Definitely, I want a lot of incense. I want a lot of incense, which isn't really gonna. It's not gonna help me too much, but that will let me maybe figure out if it has line of sight speed up. Wouldn't also be Hantu because colder temps. Possibly Hantu, but it would be a lot faster in the ghost room, so therefore we would hear it get faster and then slower as it moved in and out of the ghost room. So actually, I don't know where this ghost is. So the way that we're going to be able to tell what this ghost is if it's a Moroi, oh crap. One 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. You're not a Moroi. I think this is a Thea. Because if you cleanse a Moroi with incense, they are blinded for 7.5 seconds instead of 5 seconds, and that guy started charging at me again after about 5 seconds. So I am pretty sure this is a Thea. But once again, I would like to just listen to it a few more times, make sure it's not twins, make sure it's not a mimic. Because mimics do change what they're mimicking every 30 seconds to 2 minutes. So if it is a mimic, we're likely to get a normal speed pretty shortly after this. Okay, we can flip the light switch, which means the hunt is over. Yeah, I must say, I normally rag on the tier 3 incense, but it is pretty useful for things like the Moroi test, because you can just freeze it in place, and then you instantly know when it sees you again. Cher, hello, how you doing? Okay, we got our paramic. I'm going to grab our last thing of incense. No, we have 2 more. We're good. We're good. I can have 2. Paramic and 2 things of incense. As a treat. Yeah, the second incense as a treat. Okay, so I'm going to hang out back here. This should be far enough away that it shouldn't be able to detect my stuff. My electronics. I'm actually going to get this off because this thing's making me feel a little sick. But we just need it to haunt again. How's a new computer holding up? It's amazing. Oh, it's downstairs. Yeah, it's super fast again. So, a mechanic of Phasmophobia that I don't hear talked about a lot is that the ghost has a 50% chance to return to the last spot it saw you during the last hunt. And I think that's why you came up here. Yeah, I am pretty sure this is a Thea. Either that or we've gotten really bad luck on Twins RNG and it's been the fast twin every single time. I think one more hunt should be enough to tell. What brand of computer did I get? I got a order from Corsair. I got one of their Corsair Vengeance PCs. Pretty solid build, too. It's got one of them Intel Ultra 7 processors. It's got a RTX 4070 Ti Super. And it's got 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I was playing Oblivion on it. I was doing a test stream last night. Cher was there. Where basically I ran the game on max settings. That's what the game recommended. It recommended Ultra. Max settings, uncapped frame rate. I was streaming it and it ran flawlessly. Let's see. Could easily double down on the Thea if you wait 1 to 2 more hunts. Well, the thing about that is the Thea check, you have to be in the same room as it to age it. So 1, I would have to figure out where the ghost room was. 2, I'd have to plop a couple of crucies in there. And then it only does that every 2 minutes, so I do not know if I would be able to survive aging a Thea. In effectively 0 sanity, 150% ghost. Yeah, so it's just anytime that you're in the same room as the Thea, every 2 minutes it performs a check. If you are in the same room as it, when it does that check, it ages it. If nobody's in the room with it, when it does that check, it waits another 30 seconds. Also, Anton, thank you for the hydrate. I don't like that it has waited a while to hunt. That makes me suspicious. Yep, these ghosts are 150% speed. And on top of that, this is a fast one. Let's see. Revenge, welcome in. How you doing? Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for checking me out on Twitch. Had to dip for a second. The last one was a Wraith, yep. Now, I think we have a Thea. Except the fact that it's not hunting worries me. Here, let me go get a motion sensor. Yeah, I'm thinking Mimic. I'm thinking Mimic. Motion sensor will help with that. Oh man, that's awesome, Red. Okay, let's get this stinky headgear on. Let's see, Nileberry, welcome in. Hey, thank you so much for checking me out on Twitch. Glad you all enjoyed the videos. Does that sound slower to y'all? Nope, that's not slower. Whoa! That guy just steamrolled me. Holy moly, I didn't even see that coming. Now I'm not even sure if that's a Thea. That seemed faster than a Thea. It was a Thea. Oh my god, holy crap. So that means the speed that he was going when he ran in there and just steamrolled me, that's the speed that he was going when I cleansed him earlier, and when I re-cleansed him after he started chasing me again. That was terrifying. But hey, that is our 3rd correct round. Not too bad. We got it in 4, I think. Just to recap, we had a Shade, which I figured out because it didn't hunt when I stepped into the same room as it. And thankfully, it was a Chapel Ghost, so that was a really easy one to get. If it was a Shade down a hallway, that would have been a lot harder. Our second one was a Raiju that I initially spent a lot of the round thinking was a Myling, because the Raiju disrupts your electronics at a much farther away distance than other ghosts. I believe it's 15 meters compared to the usual 10 meters. So the fact that it was disrupting my electronics and I couldn't hear it made me think it was a Myling, and I only realized too late that it was a Raiju. And I knew something was wrong, but I didn't have enough time to figure out what it was. The 3rd ghost ended up being a Wraith, which we figured out because it didn't spend We figured out it was a Wraith because it didn't hunt immediately, which already made me think it was a Stalker Ghost. But then I put a motion sensor down and it kept beeping the motion sensor around me, and then I put some salt down and it didn't step in the salt. And then the final one was a Thea, which I did figure out it was a Thea and not a Moroi, because both of those are very fast ghosts if you're doing 0 sanity, 150%. Because the Moroi goes faster the lower your sanity is. And the Thea is just fast because it's unaged. The Thea doesn't have line of sight speed up, but you're not going to be able to figure that out at 150% speed. So the best thing you could do there is light incense and see how long it takes before it sees you again. Because the Moroi will be blinded for 7.5 seconds, the Thea only 5 seconds, like every other ghost. Since this one started running at me again after 5 seconds, I knew it was probably a Thea. But yeah, that was otherwise a pretty good challenge. That went a lot smoother than I thought it would. A lot better than the no evidence challenge, I gotta say that. But also, if you know, even if this isn't the challenge for the week and you want to use this to practice for Apocalypse, just do a custom, click your presets up here, click Apocalypse 3, but then go in and change your sprinting to on and change your player speed to 100. And then that's basically what this challenge is. So, like I said, great practice. Give it a try. And hey, look at this. This is enough to do Apocalypse Silver, too.